You did it. You got in. You're in the course. You're going to learn how to make a lot of money today. We're going to talk about bundling or product stacking or I don't know. I think there's a taboo term called package selling. It's not what we're doing. We're explaining different products in a way that is appealing and makes people want all of them at the same time. And there is an order in which to do this and do it the right way. There are people that do it the wrong way. We're not going to do things the wrong way because gurus don't have to lie, cheat, and steal. Gurus can show people why they need multiple products. And I want you guys to all be gurus with me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through this, and you're gonna pretend like I'm sitting here with the microphone on the stage, like I am in this picture, and you're gonna listen and you're gonna take notes. And this first video is gonna be an overview, and then I'm gonna come on camera in the second video, and I'm gonna talk to you and kind of talk through the sales process in various situations and how you can make this concept work in a few different scenarios. And in this slideshow, I'm going to actually go through some of the scenarios. So here we go. First things first. Welcome to the bundling Blitz. I dropped the Craig, okay? Blitz. It's easier. I should have done that on the first one, but I didn't. Hindsight is 20/20. We all learn from our mistakes. So I want to read this to you. There have been several transformational points in my career. So far, I have made a course outline one-on-one with the Facebook Blitzkrieg. So that's right. That was a transformational point when I was able to get tons and tons of leads coming in, and actually was able to get my phone ringing and all sorts of things. So transformational. The second most transformational concept introduced to me was bundling. I owe this to some other people, honestly. People talked about cross-selling from the get-go, but I didn't really understand what was possible until I was told, and I tried it, and it worked. Okay? Bundling is just a form of cross-selling, but when done appropriately, it works great to repel objections to ancillary and supportive products. In this course, you will learn the strategies that make our agency one of the best cross-selling Medicare agencies in the country. Ideally, you could walk away from this quick tutorial and cross-sell your existing book, but mostly it would allow you to get your new customers with the right products from the get-go. So strap in and enjoy. All right, that's me holding fish, because I'm going to teach you guys how to go fishing, and I'm going to make you really good fishermen. Some of you are probably really good already. I'm not doubting that. I'm just thinking that we can all do better. So this right here is just a little slide I made about my 72 policy week. Several of you know that I had a really good week, it was a couple of years ago now, where I wrote 72 policies in one week. Okay, a big portion of that obviously is getting solid golden prospects in front of you. And the Facebook strategies that I outline in my Facebook course are the ones that help me do that part. But this part I'm going to focus on cross-selling. And actually, first thing I want to do is preface this concept by letting you know that I had 34 closed prospects in front of me and only got 72 policies a week. Well, actually, I'm averaging 3 policies. Well, it's around 2.75 if you really average it all out. Policies per prospect now. So on this one, I was averaging just over 2. So actually, I probably, with the same amount of funneled prospects, time management, and ignorance of migraines, I would probably have closed more in this week had I know what I know now. And I'm going to teach you guys that. So breakdown, that week I did 22 med subs, 5 Medicare Advantage plans, 14 cancer policies, 15 dental, vision, and hearing policies, 9 prescription drug plans. Yes, I counted PDPs. If you don't count those, subtract them. I still did 63 policies. I don't know who else has done that. So 5 affordable choice plans and 2 final expense plans. I averaged the 2 policy, or the just over 2 in this, but just to kind of put it in perspective, there was one appointment that week that I did 10 policies with 2 people. So it was 2 prospects closed. It was a husband and wife. I wrote 2 med subs, 2 cancer policies, 2 dental, vision, and hearing plans, 2 PDPs, and 2 final expense policies. I wasn't even that good at cross-selling. That week, they were actually asking about cancer and final expense. Pretty incredible. Going forward, hot prospects. Over to the left, those are my feet. They're okay. They're good feet. Hot prospects, turning 65 or new to Medicare. Obviously, very hot. The interesting thing about these clients is they don't know what to expect. You get to manage their expectations, so you can sell more products at this point. And if you don't, it will be harder to sell them for the rest of the time you have them on the book. That is your biggest shot. For you people that are listening to this and really don't know the cross-selling game very well, even, to the small degree, your existing MedSup and existing Medicare Advantage plan clients are very hot, I assure you. If you're not cross-selling them a lot, then they are hot. The first time I took a cross-selling course, it was on cancer and cancer, heart attack, and stroke. I immediately went out and started calling my MAPD prospect list, and that's a list that I keep of people who are Medicare Advantage prospects throughout the year. So at that point, we had a good 50 MAPD prospects for AEP, and I had that list, and I called them up. A lot of them were already on Medicare Advantage, and so the concept was they're a prospect to potentially get back to original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. But what I did was I called them up during that year, and I said, hey, we need to go ahead and insure some of the holes that you have, and I cross-sold a lot of them cancer policies. Also, again, knowing what I know now, I probably could have sold 2 or 3 policies on some of them. So the last hot prospect we're talking about is a health insurance shopper. Okay, but why cross-sell? Here are the reasons that I cross-sell. Increased persistency. How many people have heard the more products in the house, the higher the persistency? Somebody actually said it to me this morning on a Facebook message, but I've heard it, pretty much since I got into the business. People have been saying that. It means a lot more to me now than it did then, just like concepts like marathon, not a sprint, mean more now to me than they did then, but that's another story. So more products in the house, the higher the persistency rate. Most of that's just because you're not a transactional service person to them anymore. You are somebody who, was able to help them in many ways, and so they value their relationship more with you. So a lot of times they won't cancel one policy that they would have canceled had they not had multiple policies with you. And that is true. There's tons of research out there that shows the persistency rate is higher with multiple products, and the more products, the higher the persistency. Increase your income. Of course, that's why we all take sales courses. We want to increase our income. We want to do it ethically, and we want to do what's right for our clients, but we want it to do so much of what's right for our clients to so many clients that we can have a great income while doing it. If they have to cancel for budget, so let's say you write somebody a MedSup, a cancer policy, a dental plan, and a PDP. Well, 2 years in, 3 years in, their Medicare supplement rate has gone up, and they're thinking, oh, this is getting close to the top of my budget. Well, you can peel back one layer at a time, okay? So you're able to peel back one layer at a time like an onion, So first thing that I'm going to tell them is we probably need to look at seeing if we can save you money on any of these products right now and keep them. And if we can't, let's cancel that dental, vision, and hearing to give you a little bit of wiggle room there. So I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but if you can sell more on the front end, you get their budget used to those premiums, and when they really do start hitting a premium to budget roadblock, you can peel back some of those extra plans that if you hadn't sold them, this whole thing might cost you your MedSup renewal. Covering more risk. If you're an insurance agent, your job is to cover risk. Your job is to find risk and cover it. convince the client to cover their risk by buying an insurance product to cover that risk from you. So since when did that become possible with just one policy? If you were out there selling one policy, first of all, your persistency is probably not great, or it's definitely suffering from where it could be. Second of all, that's just not what your job is. I mean, if you're just selling one policy, you're not really helping people that much. You're going out and you're saying, hey, I'm going to cover your burial. Well, thanks, but what if I get cancer in the meantime? Can you help with that? No, I can't help with that. Why? Why can't you help with that? Why can't you help with the Medicare supplement? Why can't you help pick out the drug plan? Why can't you help with many things? So, moving on. Hot products. The hot products that we're going to talk about, since we've already talked about who the hot prospects are, hot products for these selling tactics would be Medicare supplement, prescription drug plan, critical illness, that's cancer, heart attack, stroke, hospital indemnity plan, dental, vision, and hearing, short-term medical, Affordable Care Act, or a robust HIP like Manhattan Life's Affordable Choice. These are great. It's a great product outlook. So some people would ask me, what about life insurance? Well, a couple of reasons I stay away from life. One is I'm going to talk about, and up there I should have put Medicare supplement / MAPD, but I didn't. But MAPD obviously could be a pillar here too. But one of the big things that that I think is important to note on life insurance is if you are going in for life, then sure, that makes sense. You would be looking to cross-sell some of these on a life prospect. Personally, we do a lot of health insurance and Medicare advising, and people don't necessarily look at us as much as salespeople, as much as they look at us as somebody who's trying to advise them to make choices that will affect their health care in the future. So when you get into life insurance, I've seen it not have a very high success rate on cross sales. I think that's more of a follow-up after they are a client, a year or two in. So these are the products I would look at. You could also add disability income and accident in there, but those are going to be the less common ones. You could also add home health care here. And actually on some of my sheets you'll see in a minute, I have some of those. So, but these are the hottest. Okay? Moving on. The gold package. Okay? I'm going to get into my packages. Or maybe I should call it the gold bundle. Because we're not package selling, as in it being a bad thing. You'll see that based on our sheet. But it is the gold bundle. Educate first, and then they'll decide to buy from you. Once they've decided on buying you, and you have their trust, you can recommend a group of products and they will buy them. You just always have to make sure that you are explaining their individual products, which is what these sheets do. And this can be done over the phone too, so anybody that's asking that, you can get away from the sheets, but I still like using the sheets as a reference point. I love gold. Medicare Supplement Gold members, okay? This is the first prospect. We're talking about a MedSup prospect, typically turning 65, retiring, Part B effective, all of that. New to Medicare. Setting expectations. My typical Medicare Supplement Gold package is a MedSup, PDP, cancer coverage. I quote 20,000. Some people do 10,000. Dental, vision, and hearing plan, and a home health plan. Okay, you can have your own carrier preferences on this. I'm not specifically saying you have to write a certain carrier. I'm doing this a lot with Aetna right now. Doing a lot with Manhattan Life's DVH. The PDP is always going to be whatever PDP is coming up in Medicare.gov, best for them within a reasonable margin. This is your 5 policy gold layout for somebody. Silver members, okay? This is also on a Medicare Supplement sale. Medicare Supplement Silver members would have the MedSup, PDP, cancer coverage, DVH. So what did I drop? I dropped the home health care off of there. So, because that is the hardest one to sell on here, to be honest. Boom, dropped it to silver. This is where the majority of my turning 65 customers purchase from. They purchase the Silver Members Bundle. Medicare Supplement, prescription drug plan, cancer coverage, 10 or 20,000, dental, vision, and hearing. Always quote the higher plan, the 1,500. Okay, bronze plan. I didn't want a really nice bronze picture, so I got some L'Oreal Sublime bronzer. And I don't have a problem with bronzer. My wife uses the stuff, okay? All right? She looks really bronze when she does it. That's great. Nothing wrong with a bronze package. The cool thing about a bronze package, when we were putting this together, we were trying to decide, hey, on a bronze package, initially we had MedSup and PDP. But then I was like, well, that's just a regular sale. And then I'm not really selling anything. So we decided to put cancer coverage on the bronze package so that even when somebody picks the lowest cost one, when they get the real budget hog, you're still getting a cross-sell out of it. And we also thought, do we want dental, vision, and hearing or cancer coverage? The thing about cancer coverage is everyone's scared of cancer. Not everyone cares about dental and vision. Even though it is the most asked about product, our bronze package is MedSup, PDP, cancer coverage. This right here, this one little tactic on having the bronze on this has saved us a lot of extra policy sales, because now we're not giving an option to not pick a third policy. Now it is all broken down on this sheet, so someone could easily point out and say, well, how much do these individually cost? What if I don't have this? And that happens from time to time. But most of the time, when you present it in this fashion, it doesn't happen. So this sheet to the left here is our gold, silver, bronze sheet, and you can see how it has it laid out. The cool thing is we're going through and we're putting just the total price in the price column there. That way, we're not initially breaking it down by individual cost. Because right now we're trying to get them to agree that this cost for this amount of coverage is a good deal. And then as we go through the application process, we would talk more about the intimate details of these things. Okay? So what I say in the notes over here, turning 65 or retiree bundling sheet, I use in person and over the phone. Over the phone, it's still a great reference point. So yeah, like in person, this is great because it's a visual reference. Over the phone, you have to talk through it a little more. As you can hear in my 8 policy close video, we're like single-handedly talking it out. Obviously, the number of policies in person is more than it is over the phone, but we still get a lot of cross sales just by putting them on the table and strongly recommending them over the phone. And I use this sheet as a reference. All right, Medicare Advantage Gold members, okay? Not to be confused with Humana Gold. With this one, we have the Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan. I didn't do a separate MA only one because that's just not something we do a lot. But there could be an argument for what you would cross sell with Lasso here if you were doing that. We just really haven't gotten heavy into that realm. Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan, your MAPD is your core. Cross selling with these is so much easier because there are more holes than there are with MedSup. So even if it has, good benefits, we still have room for hospital indemnity almost always. You have room for cancer coverage. You really need cancer coverage even more so. I always quote $20,000 with Medicare Advantage plan because if you have, say, a $10,000 out-of-network maximum, then you could easily be out that. Plus, there's the cost of expensive drugs relating to cancer. So the $20,000 is really helpful. Then I get into the dental, vision, and hearing. Some people would say, well, the Medicare Advantage plan might have dental and vision in it, or some good dental and vision. Well, you can always add on dental, vision, and hearing, and then you have some extra coverage. If you got $1,500 dental coverage in the MAPD, now you're adding on another $1,500 from the DVH plan. And then home health care. Home health care is something I would still add on the gold package. It's a good one because sometimes you can justify it based on the prescriptions someone's taking as paying partially for itself. Going on to the silver Medicare Advantage package or membership. Okay, so we're looking at the silver. we have the MAPD still. We have the hospital indemnity, cancer coverage, DVH. Again, just like the med subs, I'm dropping home health. It is in my opinion, the least jumped upon cross-sell product. So we have ordered these in order of importance for the type of sale you're doing. Again, my wife's bronzer package would be Medicare Advantage plan, cancer coverage, and dental, vision, and hearing. We actually dropped the hospital indemnity on this last one because we were just seeing a higher closing ratio, which might lead us to believe that on this one, the silver deal, we should probably reverse hospital and cancer from order of importance. Also, hospital indemnity underwriting can be a little harder, whereas cancer coverage is more just about cancer and chemo look back and immune disorders. So, lastly, I'm going to get into the under 65 options. Oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself. This is the Medicare Advantage sheet we use. So we got Medicare Advantage, hospital indemnity plan, cancer, heart attack, and stroke, dental, vision, and hearing, home health. I actually have this a little backwards on my bronze and my bronze here. That's constantly being tweaked by us tracking closing ratios with different products. So this is the way that we're doing it on our sheet right now. So same concept. We changed the wording on a lot of our stuff here, and the Medicare Advantage metallic levels are as seen here. No big deal. For Medicare Advantage sales, we use this bundling sheet. I don't do much MAPD over the phone. I know you can, but I'm personally not enjoying doing it over the phone. It's very tedious, takes a lot of time, and I'm able to funnel a lot of prospects over the phone that aren't in that market or their med subs market, or I can get a lot of my Medicare Advantage prospects to come in the office. And last year there I say is it's on my list this year to get better at and become more confident in my ability to compliantly do it. That being said, MAPD is super easy to cross-sell with. I'd say it's the easiest product to cross-sell with, to be honest. But it is something we're not doing a lot of over the phone. We have done some, but I just don't feel extremely comfortable with it yet. So maybe next year. All right, going forward. Under 65 health gold members. Short-term medical indemnity or ACA. So what I'm saying there is that's your core product. You can write any of those. You can write an Affordable Care Act plan. That one might be a little harder to get contracted with some of the carriers on. We always check to make sure they don't qualify for a great deal with ACA first. If you're not contracted with ACA, you can always still sell a bundle here where you're getting some stuff to help close their deductible up, give them some extra cancer coverage, dental, vision, hearing, potentially final expense or life. Or actually, I meant to change that to accident on here. So I think accident's been performing better lately with these than life and final expense. But on this gold package, you can do short-term medical indemnity or ACA as the core. So that's like Manhattan Life's affordable choice plan for somebody who doesn't get a great deal on Obamacare, or they could utilize a short-term medical policy. We're starting to lean more heavily towards, or I am, affordable choice. Some of my agents are still liking pitching short-term medical, and we don't want to take the wind out of their sales. So out-of-pocket protection or a HIP, Manhattan Life has a great out-of-pocket protection plan that would go along with any of those products. And also there's some other HIPs that are good supplements to those, like Heartland National has a good hospital indemnity plan that customizes to ACA and Medicare Advantage really well. Then we go down to cancer coverage. Some of the HIPs that are out there you can do a lump sum cancer rider on, so you could package that into one policy. Or you could do like the Aetna lump sum cancer, Cigna lump sum cancer, Manhattan lump sum cancer, or any other cancer policy that you're writing that you're enjoying. Next down, dental, vision, and hearing. Obviously, I'm a proponent of adding that whenever possible. And then on here, I did final expense life, or you can do an accident policy. Cigna has a good accident expense plan. Or you could do final expense in life, because you're probably going to get that as a cross-sell more with the under 65 market than you would with the Medicare because the Medicare is such a transformational process. Okay, silver, obviously I'm popping off the final expense there, just going one leg up. Everything else is the same. Bronze, totally messed that up. The bronze under 65 would just be this one here without the dental, vision, and hearing. So we would still do OOP, hip, and cancer, and we would leave the, we'd pipe the dental, vision, and hearing off. Because then we would take it and make it completely about medicine and medical rather than more of the ancillary ideas, which I would count dental, vision, and hearing as being outside the technical health realm, more vanity based. Okay, and this is the under 65 bundling sheet we use, where you can see affordable choice / Affordable Care Act, out-of-pocket protection, cancer, heart attack, stroke, dental, vision, and hearing, and accident expense over to the left. Drop the accident for the silver, drop the dental and vision as well for the bronze. Based on your own comfort level, you can put in short-term medical with the top choice if you'd like. To be honest, you aren't adequately helping your clients if you aren't cross-selling with these policies. These policies need some additional support most of the time. Even the Affordable Care Act is in danger right now. Many states have one sole carrier. Mississippi's for one like this. So once they are gone, once that carrier decides we're not participating in this anymore, the person that's sick and on them is going to be left running into the fall with an open enrollment period, but nothing to utilize it on. If they had an indemnity plan, that'd be guaranteed renewable for life. If they had a short-term medical plan, it would expire and they wouldn't be able to get anything. So indemnity health is looking more and more appealing due to guaranteed renewability. But I digress. So tools you need to get started, mobile quote engines. I use a 27-inch iMac. I strongly recommend it if you're doing a lot of in-the-office stuff. I have this huge computer screen to look at, super helpful. If you're in the field, iPad or MacBook Air. You really need to focus on carriers with strong e-apps, mother's maiden name signatures, things like that, to take the burden off of you. Yes, I know I have 3 likes, 3 dislikes on that video, so that's pretty lame. It's shot up a lot more on the likes since then, thanks to you guys. All right, going forward. Get connected. Here's my contact info. You could freeze the screen if you wanted to jot down any of those things. So right now, I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to do another video where I'm talking to you, and I'm trying to walk you through some of these sales processes. Thanks a bunch, guys. Watch the next video. Download some of the resources. Let me know what you think of the course. Talk to you later.